Hi, friends. It's your pal Scott Garibay, and today we are going to talk about DM Bluddworth's Shadowdark Shards of Ymir session that he ran at the Philadelphia Area Gaming Convention in January 2025, and something I very much did not like that he did at the table. Let's get into it. All right, so DM Bluddworth has his own channel. Now, actually, this is sought out by the convention. The convention absolutely wants, he was a special guest. The convention wants people who have YouTube channels because it draws. It's a huge draw. And actually, it was incredibly successful. They're actually going to double the space next year for Philadelphia Area Gaming Expo. It went extremely well. So big ups to Philadelphia Area Gaming. And DM Bluddworth was part of that. He ran games that were full. All tickets were bought, all right? I'm telling you everything I don't like, but don't forget for 1 second. This is a highly anticipated, well-attended game. Every game DM Bluddworth ran at the convention with Shadowdark was full, to my knowledge. I'm pretty sure of that. I think every Shadowdark game that was run, period, was full. And there were a lot of games that weren't full, okay? All right, so just be aware of that. So what did he do that I really didn't like? All right, here we go. He brought his politics to the table in outrageous hypocrisy, okay? I don't object to the fact that he brought his politics to the table. I object to the fact that he did it in hypocrisy. All right, so he has a channel, and on his channel, he just did a response video to Tabletop Family. And he said, there's no place for politics at my table. So he told everybody, don't you dare bring any of your politics to my table because there's no room for it. You don't get to bring your politics to my table. Okay, you could state that. But what did he, so those are his words. What did he do when he came to the convention? First of all, he didn't wait to get to the table to declare his politics to literally everyone at the convention, even people who didn't have anything to do with him and didn't even want to have a conversation with him. He wore his and he said this in the video, and he didn't do it just at Philadelphia Area Gaming Expo. He's been doing this for years at conventions all over. Thousands of people have been exposed to this. So he wears his U.S. Army veteran hat. And guess what? In his video, he says, I realize you could take this as a political statement. Of course you can take it as a political statement. Every single word on it is a bold political statement. U.S., right? How is the United States a political statement? Go ask 100 Americans what they think of their nationality and their citizenship. You'll get 10, 20 people in, and then you'll hit somebody and say, oh, well, yeah, I was born in America, and I have American citizenship, but I don't consider myself an American citizen. I'm a global citizen. I'm just as much, a member of the world as anyone in Europe or any nation that has free health care, right? I'm really, America last for me. Saying U.S. on your hat is an incredibly strong political statement. Army. Is Army a political statement? Why don't you go ask the Amish people who live in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, what they think of an organization that's dedicated to mastering weapons to make sure that whatever the U.S. president decides can go be accomplished by force anywhere in the world. Ask them if they think that's a political statement. And then you say, hey, what about the word veteran, Amish person? What do you think of people who dedicated their lives to making sure that they had mastered every weapon possible to make sure that anything the U.S. president wanted would happen by force? They're going to tell you that's a political statement. These are strong political statements. And DM Bluddworth did not wait to the table to declare these, right? He was shouting it. He didn't even wait. He was shouting this to everybody who was in his proximity. He didn't even wait to have a conversation with you to make sure you knew his politics. Not only does he bring politics to the table at Shadowdark, Shards of Ymir, and his politics were spread throughout the game, right? There wasn't even 5 minutes that didn't have a political statement from him, in my humble opinion, right? Then get this. He's saying, I don't even care if you want to hear it. I'm gonna walk past you in the hall, and I'm gonna say, U.S. first, Army, fighting, weapons, right? Force, American president agenda, right? And I want you to honor everybody who used the United States military force to make sure that every U.S. president's single whim was accomplished by force, right? And so, like, it's just like, whoa, these are outrageously strong political statements, right? And so, and he's not waiting for the table. He's literally walking through the hall. He's declaring this in the parking lot, saying, listen up, U.S. Army veteran, 3 political statements in your face. I don't care if you don't want to hear it. And I'm going to walk past you, getting out of your car, and I'm going to walk past you in the hall, and then I'm going to walk around your table while I'm in the convention, and I'm going to shout my political opinions at you constantly, right? Now, first of all, I want to be super clear. I support the United States of America. I'm an American exceptionalist, America first, right? I support the Army. I'm super glad they're defending us and making sure that every single whim of the U.S. president happens by force anywhere in the world that we choose, right? I 100% support every veteran, right? Because I want the will of America imposed on the world through force, right? Like, I and the veterans are the ones who do that, right? Like, I support American veterans. I support every single thing on his hat. My issue is he's saying, oh, what is he actually saying? When he says there's no room for politics at the table, he's actually saying there's no room for your politics. My politics don't need to wait for the table. You'll hear them every minute while we're at the table, but I can start shouting them to you in the parking lot, the moment I enter the building. The people who are literally just processing my ticket will get to know my politics. Everybody in the hall gets to know. Every vendor gets to know my politics, and I will circle every table at the convention and shout my politics to you while you play. My politics, there's room for my politics at every table. But your little rainbow dice, no room for them at my table. I think that's what DM Bluddworth is actually saying. That's outrageous hypocrisy. That is outrageous hypocrisy. Now, when he came to our table, right, I saw him wear this hat all over the convention at the Philadelphia Area Gaming Expo, exposing his politics to everybody who wanted to hear them and everybody who didn't, right? Like, just even seeing him, he's like, make sure you know, here's my politics, right? Let's make sure that every tabletop role-playing game here is not free of politics because of me, right? Outrage. Now, and I agree with his politics, but to tell others that there's no room at his table for your politics is outrageous. It is outrageous hypocrisy. So what's ironic is when we went to the Shards of Ymir table and sat down, he didn't have his hat on, right? I think it might have been, in his backpack or somewhere, right? But within 5 minutes of the game starting, he said, hey, everybody, I was in the U.S. military, declaring his politics. I was in the U.S. Army. I'm a veteran. He said it within the first 5 minutes. In case his hat had been off for 2 minutes, he still need to bring up politics at the table at the very beginning. Outrageous hypocrisy. So DM Bluddworth, what he's really saying is there's room for my politics at your table. There's room for my politics at every table, but there's no room for your rainbow dice or any else of your politics at my table. That's outrageous hypocrisy. That is outrageous hypocrisy. I do not oppose him bringing politics to the table. I do not oppose his particular declared politics. I oppose his hypocrisy, his outrageous hypocrisy. And so how do we fix this? Everybody gets to bring all their politics to the table every time. That's the right way to do it. That way, everybody gets a chance and there's no hypocrisy. In my humble opinion, every single word you just heard in this video is my humble opinion. Nothing more, nothing less. The important part is when I get to hear your humble opinion when you get in the comments and send your traffic. Please consider liking and subscribing and have a fetch millennium.